Hi everyone, welcome to Davmill Science Studios, where it's all about creating a spark. In today's video, we will be talking about the particulate theory of matter. We'll be looking at exactly what is it. Have you ever heard about it before? What do you think it really means? The particulate theory of matter is sometimes referred to as the particle or the kinetic theory of matter. Now, you may see those two words being used more frequently than the particulate theory of matter, but they're all referring to the same thing. Now, the particle theory of matter is made up of four basic components or four major points, the first of which states that all matter is made up of tiny particles. Now, when we're using the particle theory of matter to explain matter, basically we are thinking of, for example, let's take this glass of orange juice, and in this glass of orange juice, when we are referring to the particle theory of matter, what we're saying is that this orange juice consists of tiny particles. Now, of course, we can't see those tiny particles with our naked eyes, but we believe that it is made up of tiny particles. Another example can be a pair of shoes, and those shoes will in fact consist of tiny particles as well. Now, I don't want you to think that the particles in the shoes and those in the orange juice will be of the same kind. No, they will not be of the same kind. They are most definitely of different kinds, because if they were of the same kind, then they would basically come together to make the same thing. So I don't want you to think like that. What I want you to take from this is that everything around us, once it consists of matter, it is made up of tiny particles. The second point is that the particles of matter are always moving. Now, moving or motion refers to not only moving from one place to another, which is translocation, but we also have vibration and rotation. So particles in our solids, in our liquids, and in our gases, they can be either be vibrating, rotating, or translocating, which is moving from one place to another. Thirdly, the particles of matter have spaces between them. Now, I want you to take these diagrams as an example. What you're seeing here is that the gas particles will have the largest space between them when compared to a liquid, which has medium space between them, compared to a solid, which has very small space between those particles. So the difference is just the amount of space which exists between the particles. And to reiterate, the solid has the smallest space, followed by the liquid, and then the gas, which has the largest space between the particles. Fourthly, adding heat to matter makes the particles move faster. So when we look at our diagram here, if we add heat to this, which represents our solid, what is going to happen is that those particles are going to begin to move faster, and in moving faster, they begin to overcome the forces of attraction between them, and it is going to convert to a liquid. And when we supply heat to those particles of the liquid, they again will begin to move faster, and it will eventually become a gas, which has the greatest amount of space between the particles. Now, because it is a theory, and the particle theory is something which we believe to be true, or a theory is something which we believe to be true, we have to have some amount of evidence to support that theory. Now, three pieces of evidence comes in the form of diffusion, osmosis, and Brownian motion. And those pieces of evidence are things which we can see in our everyday lives. Now, we will look at these individually in a different video, but for now, we will just refer to them as evidence which we use to support the particle theory of matter. In conclusion, we can say that matter is made up of very tiny particles which are always in motion. And again, because it is a theory, the particle theory, we have to have evidence to support it, and these pieces of evidence are things which we can see or relate to in our everyday lives. Now, I want to thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you learned something, and God bless. Have a good one, guys.